What's up, bitches? This is Silent Rob, and welcome to another episode of Unwinnable Games. And you might be looking at the title of this video thinking, Tiny Toons Bust or Bust Loose? I've beat that game. Have you lost your goddamn mind, Rob? Well, yes, but that doesn't have anything to do with this video. Well, first let me give you a little bit of backstory about this game. This game was released in 1993 for the Super Nintendo. It was released by Konami. Pretty much one of my favorite developers back in the day. It was just a developer you could count on to make pretty damn good games, you know, Contra, Gradius. They had a few of these, you know, like children's type games that were really good. When you think of these children Disney animated cartoon type games, you usually think of Capcom, but Konami also had a little piece of the pie. Now, what makes this game impossible? How is this game unwinnable? Well, let me get right down to it. If you're like me, when you play a video game, you usually like to change the controls on the video game. Usually the default controls just don't fucking cut it. For instance, Super Metroid. This is a prime example. The default controls on Super Metroid completely fucked me up when I first started playing the game, to the point where I literally had to change the controls around. And thank God Nintendo had the fucking state of mind to actually include custom controls in this game, because look at these fucking default controls. You got jump as the A button, you got fire as the X button, you got dash as the B button, you know, then you got the item cancel button being the Y button. It's just a complete fucking clusterfuck, man. And if you can play this game with these default controls, then congratulations, you are more of a man than I am. So, what makes Bust or Bust Loose a completely unwinnable game? Well, first, let me tell you right now that this is an awesome game. If you guys haven't played it, please do so. But let's say you turn on this game and you don't like the default controls, which as a kid I did not. By default they have the dash button set to L and R, and they have the attack button set to Y, jump as B. Typically you're not going to be attacking very many enemies in this game at all. So the only logical thing to do is to change the dash button to the Y button, and not the fucking L and R buttons, because trust me, it's a little bit awkward to fucking use the L and R buttons for dash. It just doesn't really feel right. So as a kid, that's exactly what I did. And all is well and good in this fucking game, and this is a pretty challenging game, especially for kids. There's a lot of fucking just stuff that'll kill you instantly. Some of the dash parts on the second stage especially will kill you over and over again. There's no room for error, and for a fucking Tiny Toons game, man, this fucking game will rape your ass. Here's how this game can become unwinnable. If you change the controls, in particular the dash button, there's a part later on in the second level where the game takes control away from you. You're standing on top of a train, and what's supposed to happen is the game takes control of Buster and sprints off the edge of this train, hits a ramp, flies up into the air, and comes back down onto the second part of the level. If you change the controls, however, Buster will just stand there and get killed repeatedly over and over again. You are given no explanation as to why this is, and as a kid you're thinking there's something fucking wrong with your game. But no, that's not it at all. See, the game defaults the dash button to the L and R buttons. So if you fucking change them in the beginning of the game, Buster will fucking just stand there like a fucking retard and die over and over and over again, man. As a kid, I was like, Buster, you fucking fucknut, man. Move! Do something! What the fuck, man? There's no explanation. They don't tell you what the hell's going on. You're just left to just wonder, what the fuck? And I never owned this game as a kid. I always rented it. So by the time I got to this part, where it would fuck me over repeatedly, it was pretty much time to take the game back to the fucking store anyways. So I never got past this part as a kid. If you're going to have a part like this where it takes control away from you, and it's going to default to the L and R buttons for dash, then don't let the player change the L and R buttons for fucking dash. That makes no sense. Okay, fuck this game. It's a good game, but it can go fuck itself with this bullshit.